Hey everyone, welcome to another video and thank you so much for tuning in. Well, Aptera has released another prototype. Lordstown is using the same old prototype, and the Volkswagen fans should be rejoicing because the GTX is making its rounds. Plus all the Tesla news. Good gravy. Let's get started. Alright, first up, Aptera. The Aptera Sol, their latest prototype, is out and they are running it around, making it look like an absolute adventure vehicle. They've got camping accessories for it, and their latest video shows a surfboard just fitting right in the back. Now, I've talked about Aptera on this channel in the past, and I think they're a great company. I really hope they continue to make progress and eventually get their vehicles out on the road so that we can all experience it. If you're not familiar with Aptera, here's the deal. So they were a company that in the early 2000s basically came out and tried to put out an electric vehicle, but they ran out of some money. So they went dormant for a while. Within the last couple of years, they've made a resurgence, and it looks like their timing is right and they've got the right funding and are making some great progress. The claim to fame now for this vehicle to me is that they're saying that they can get up to 11,000 miles just from parking your car out in the sun. That's right, up to 11,000 miles. If even just half of that is true, how cool is that? That you could just get free miles for parking your car out in the driveway or out at work and just get all that mileage for free. So I hope it comes to be. The other thing is that they are a right to repair company. And if you don't know what that means, it essentially means that they believe that you as the consumer have the right to repair your vehicle. So they'll sell you all the products that they have to repair your vehicle. You don't have to take it to a dealership. You don't have to take it to them. You can just order the part, whatever it may be, and you can repair it on your own, which is going to dramatically cut down the expense for the consumer. Also, the latest thing that they're working with is, if you didn't know, they're backed by Sandy Munro, which gives them some credibility. So I hope that's confidence inspiring to a lot of consumers so that they'll, either reserve or purchase that vehicle in the future. But it's definitely going to help them streamline their process. Just recently, they've also started working with Roush, which is an aftermarket kind of tuner, really. They're known for their production or their vehicles as far as their relationship with Ford and the Mustang and the F-150s, I should say. Not so much with the F-150s, but definitely Roush Mustangs. They're the aftermarket performance end of it. And they've done some great things with performance as far as engine mods and suspension. And how they're going to come into play with Aptera is they're working on the suspension portion, which is pretty cool. So you've got a performance suspension aftermarket group working with Aptera to help that car or vehicle really develop and fine-tune its suspension. That's pretty exciting. Now, the overall plan for Aptera is they have 4 stages of development. Essentially, they have the alpha, beta, gamma, and delta. So right now, I think they're just ending their alpha stage. They're basically going into beta, and then they'll go on to, again, the gamma, and then finally the production vehicle will be the delta. But regardless, I hope this vehicle comes to market. And again, it's for their philosophy on right to repair, and then the whole idea of just getting free miles. If they can come out with that and they encourage other manufacturers to do the same, we as consumers, we're just going to win. So fingers crossed. Let's see if they can make that happen. The next company that we need to talk about is Lordstown Motors. Yep, they used to be, or I should say, the former CEO used to be the owner of Workhorse. And Workhorse had a prototype electric vehicle called Workhorse W15, also known as the Endurance truck. Right, so it was the same, pretty much the same prototype vehicle, just carried over. Now, they are not looking too good. A couple weeks ago, or I should say last week, they publicly came out and said that they are not going to be able to make some production vehicles unless they get some additional cash, which is really not a good look for them. And then this week, both the CEO and the CFO have resigned, so they are no longer with the company. The primary person, the CEO, Stephen Burns, formerly with Workhorse, and has been the person responsible for bringing and carrying over the prototype, has essentially left the company, and Julio Rodriguez, the CFO, has also left the company. Now, don't feel bad for them. From what I understand, Stephen Burns got a $750,000 estimated right in there. Basically, golden parachute. So even though he's leaving, he'll take that cash with him, as well as I believe the CFO gets right around $250,000. So I'm sure they'll be fine for the next couple years until they pick up other jobs. Now, hopefully, Stephen Burns doesn't come back with yet another prototype in a few years from now, because there is a no compete clause that he's under. But hopefully in 3 years he doesn't show up with the third prototype that kind of looks like the last two prototypes, the W15 and the Endurance, and tries to start over again. If he does, maybe third time's the charm. No. Now moving on to the ID4. Volkswagen is now released the GTX for publications and journalists to actually test in the real world, and it's looking pretty good. Now the GTX is the performance version of the ID4, and in a past video I've said that I think the ID4 is going to do very well with the public. I think it's a vehicle that transitions consumers very nicely from conventional cars to electric cars. And the popularity of Volkswagen and the reach that Volkswagen has, I, again, think it's going to do extremely well. The good news is if you're a fan of the ID4, the GTX cranks it up a notch and gives you just that extra performance that would make that car probably pretty fun. It looks to be that the 0 to 60 time is down by about 1.5 seconds, maybe almost 2 seconds. It's pretty close, but right in there, just enough to make it sporty. It's not blistering fast. I believe that it's going to be in the high fives, maybe 5.8, right in there, real world, even maybe 6, but still, the instant torque and those figures are pretty nice. You know, they're not Tesla fast, but most people really aren't really that concerned with being, you know, melt your face fast. That is quick enough to get around in traffic and merge and all that good stuff, you know. So now if you want to see a great video on the 0 to 60 test, Bjorn Nyland has a fantastic video. I'll put a link. And if you're wondering about the different trim levels, Out of Spec Reviews has a great video on what you get with the launch edition, which you can't get anymore, but if you bought a used one or a demo, you know, versus the Pro and the Pro S. You know, all the little features that you get with each trim level and also the cost, you know, and so you can decide what you can live with and the features that aren't really necessary for you. So take a look at those videos to really help you decide which ID4 is right for you. Now, moving on to Tesla. You know, first I gotta ask, you know, put it in the comments below. Now that you've had about a week to digest all that is Tesla Model S Plaid, do you forgive Tesla for removing the Model S Plaid Plus, or are you still a little upset? Put it in the comments. Me personally, I wish they still offered the Plaid Plus. But I realize that the Plaid, regular Plaid, is a pretty good car. I've said it before, you know, in past videos, and I'll say it again. The Plaid in its own right is a very, very good car. You know, it's got great numbers, and now that you've seen the interior and the features, it's a really nice car, you know. But is it the halo car that I wish for? No. But again, it is a phenomenal vehicle. Tesla news: Elon Musk is possibly considering a PR department of sorts to get out information about Tesla. Not really like advertisement, really, but maybe a department that gives out the correct information to kind of combat misleading information about Tesla. I think this is a good idea because I said it in a past video that essentially as Tesla grows and reaches consumers that are not necessarily or haven't been Tesla fans or early adopters, I think you have to approach those types of consumers in a different way. And the only way to reach them is by putting out information, correct information about your business. And so maybe this is a start for Tesla to put out a revamped type of PR department. And it looks like he's considering it. And I really believe that that type of department will be mutually beneficial for both Tesla and the public. You know, right now, the public is really relying on social media and journalists that are both pro and against Tesla. This way, Tesla can put out the information on their own website, and that way, anybody who wants to know can compare what they're reading elsewhere versus what Tesla's saying and make their own informed decision. So hopefully that happens. The next thing that Tesla is considering is possibly putting out a home air conditioning system, right? HVAC, heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. If Tesla does this, again, it's just going to be another moneymaker for Tesla. You know, they're already touting that they have some of the best air conditioners in the automotive industry with the way that they purify the air and biodefense mode and all of that. So now they could possibly transition into the home market. And if they do that, oh my goodness. Again, just another sector where they can just revolutionize and make a ton of money while doing it. So let's see what they do. Anyway, there you go, everyone. So thank you again for watching. And remember, go to your car meets, have fun with your mods, and enjoy what you have. We'll see you guys on the next video.